When was your last vision checkup? Checking up our vision. A sight checkup, the oculist, the optometer. So welcome everybody to our sunrise stroll and chat. Let's see how this sky is going to turn out. Let's see. Seeing vision. Watch where you're going. Seeing vision. What a gift it is to be able to see. And accidents happen, or illnesses come about, cataracts develop, and we can't see. Imagine all the nuances to see along here, to see the moon setting. One of our friends in Germany wants to see Migdal as often as I can show it to him. He wants to get back here and to see it, to see the Sea of Galilee. To see the sunrise. To see your children, to see your spouse, to see your parents, to see the details in nature. In the materials. Imagine what sight means to us. To thread a needle. To put a watch back together. Once upon a time, I'm not sure if that's possible anymore. At least for the ordinary folks. Everything is so high tech. To see the food when it's cooking. To see the fruit, which one is ripe. To see the beehives and the bees. One thing I loved seeing when I was looking after the bees in Rome was with the tiniest little drop of honey on the glove, and bring it up close to my eye and watch the honey going up I don't know what you call it in a bee, but like an elephant has a trunk. Well, the bee has, let's call it a trunk, and the honey is moving upwards there. It's sucking it in, and you can watch the honey going up the inside the bee. Oh, there's the sun. To watch this moment when the sunrise is coming, where the sun is coming out. Look. See a flower as it progressively comes into bloom each day. Sometimes roses take a while to go from bud to full bloom. And we take it for granted Just like we take the flow of blood in our arteries for granted. We don't even think about it. I know I didn't think about the blood flow in my arteries yesterday for 1 second. Didn't even occur to me to think about it. And it was working. Imagine if it didn't work. To be able to see the nuances, to contemplate a work of art. It's nature art here that the Creator gives us. The work of great artists. To read a letter, or to find some written signs in ancient archaeology. The joy of seeing. And even seeing with television, because that's seeing at a distance, you know. Right now, when we were children, when I was children, I'm going back a while, we didn't even have television, you know. We didn't have electricity in our farm. And to be able to go to Grandma's house and see the Dublin horse show when we were harvesting the hay there at the lunch break. To see. And now we have the ability to broadcast live all worldwide right now with a simple little hand gadget called a phone, to be able to see. This is a nice view now from the sun. Watch this. Our big rocks here. To the moon. You can see how the moon is waning. Imagine the moon is 250,000 miles away, or 240,000 miles away. And we can see that it's waning at that distance. And then we can see the sun, and it's only 93 million miles away. And we hope the drivers have good vision so that they can see well when they're driving, and that their vision is not blurred. But accidents can happen, illness develops, cataracts develop. And some people are born blind without that gift, which is very painful for the parents to see, that their child can't see. And then what's beautiful is to see smart people, great doctors, intervening, and to watch the child, parents see that the child can now see. The cataracts have been removed. What an incredible moment. It's much more than the new leaves coming on the trees. To be frank, I don't know if they're new or old, these ones. There might be some new stuff in there. But we have lots of new stuff coming here. Here's our path here. We finished up yesterday, more or less, I think. We're heading south. It's a nice spot. The path is easy, so there's less problems walking here. And then we could ponder hearing and how valuable that is. We don't like hearing the traffic maybe right now, but it's great to hear a car come when you're waiting for friends to arrive. And one of our participants in England is a very gifted person combining music and visuals. And she has used, I think I mentioned this before, some images from the sunrise strolls and chat, and she has put them together with music. Now she did a different thing for Advent, and it's a classical art of the Annunciation and combined with music. It's a very beautiful composition, and I just posted the website for her work it will be posted together with this once this is shared when I finish the video. So you can see the genius of people putting together sound and music. People love in Jerusalem to go to the light and sound show, but we have this every morning here in Galilee. The light, and say, look at that light, look at that light. Ain't that amazing? We have our own light and sound show. We got a free ticket every morning. We have another detail in the sound, which once in a while is okay, but if you live near an airport, it could be a bit troublesome. Hey, this is a beautiful spot. So we got a helicopter up here coming. Big bird. Come on, camera. Come on, where are you, son? I did zoom with this. I hadn't realized I had zoomed so much. There we are. Let's see how this works on the water now as we get over the brow of the hill here. Yes, the path is emerging. This path of light. It's amazing. Also, one of the experiences working with the camera now for a while, catching details, is how much the eye can catch that the camera can't catch, despite the fact that the camera has so much intelligence brought into it from thousands of competent technical developers. And yet our eye is such a gift for nuance, for detail. On the other hand, then a telescope is a great gift. Brings things closer to us. So when Isaiah wants to tell us how good it's going to be when the Messiah comes, he talks about sight being restored. What a powerful image. Don't fall down here, people. Be careful. Right in the center of the screen is the Mount of Beatitudes. This little thorny bush which I'm standing beside is catching me in different places if I move without care. Excuse me, I just have to... So let's look at the text for today from Isaiah. We're in Isaiah 29. Thus says the Lord God. But for a little while, and Lebanon, which is up there, behind those mountains, Lebanon shall be changed into an orchard, and the orchard be regarded as a forest. No shortage of fruit of all kinds. On that day the deaf shall hear. What a joy that is. Somebody's hearing is failing and they get a wonderful hearing apparatus. And long before hearing apparatus were discussed or thought about, 2006 centuries ago, more or less, we have this image, and the deaf shall hear. They shall hear the words of a book. And out of gloom and darkness the eyes of the blind shall see. The feast your eyes have now. And you remember when Jesus said to the disciples, "Blessed are you who see what you see and hear what you see, hear what you hear." For the prophets and so many countless generations before you awaited this day, and you see it with your eyes, you hear with your ears. The fullness of gifts. Can't you see what I'm trying to tell you? Are you blind? How often we use expressions like that? The gift of sight. So then the sight and the hearing become touchstones for us to capture what it would be spiritually to see and to hear on another level. Because even in human speech, for human things, we see it metaphorically. Can't you see how to tie your laces? And sometimes the not seeing is also a little bit voluntary. We don't want to see. We don't want to have to do that job. Can't you see what I'm trying to tell you? Don't you hear me? So even on a human experience level, we have blockages, and seeing and hearing is about relationships. It's not just about sensations that come in from the outside and we understand them, but it's about how I relate to others. And then how this relationship can also suffer accidents and type of cataracts and paralysis. Imagine how many times spouses could say to each other, "Don't you hear me? Can't you see this the way I see it?" We say seeing eye to eye. And so all of the huge accident. An accident, what's an accident? It's like it happened to somebody. And this, it fell on us, it happened, it's an accident. And the big accident, sometimes there are accidents and you have absolutely zero responsibility. In other ones there's responsibility mixed in. In other ones there's total responsibility. Thank God the world is becoming more conscious that you don't drive while you're drunk. Imagine all the accidents that happen. Oh no, I didn't mean it was an accident. Okay, but you got drunk and you took out the car. And then it's not just alcohol, it could be the influence of anger. Well, I really never meant to say that, I was just angry. Or I remember reading a letter once and taking it very badly and having a bad reaction inside me. And I remember a year later reading the same letter, it was still on my mind, and saying, wow, what did I get so upset about? Seeing things from wholesomeness. Yeah, I think there's a boat out there. Did you see that boat? Along here. Did you see? Look. You see there just to the left of the light path. That guy's moving. I think I was semi-aware of him, we just didn't dwell on it before. There seem to be a number of people on it, so it's not your typical fishing troop, I don't think. It got very choppy yesterday, later in the morning. Hey, look at that sky. So I encourage you to read these scripture verses and ponder them. The Lord is my light and my salvation. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom should I fear? Imagine with that conclusion, you know, how the psalmist, that inspired writer It's connecting these two things. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom should I fear? And we need to apply that today. It would be very helpful for a lot of people that you know to help them. And maybe you can't talk to them about the Lord because they're a little bit allergic. But you can communicate serenity. You can communicate a word of encouragement. You can, maybe the most important thing is actually just to accompany the other, just to be with them. That little text message, that little phone call. You could even make a virtual cup of tea appointment. Somebody say, let's have a cup of tea on FaceTime. And just let's have our chat, and we can be talking together, and you can tell me about your tea and I can tell you about my tea. And in that process of something so simple, so much goodness is communicated. And it was great, the guy who invented the wheel, but this virtual communication is a great blessing also now. Even if we didn't have Corona, to be able to speak to somebody, a relative, a friend who's in a different continent, and it becomes possible. It becomes a delight. So we have many tools at our disposal our reach becomes longer. You know, yesterday there was a fisherman up there with a rod that was like, it seemed from here it could go to the other side of the lake. And then you'd have another fisherman with a shorter rod. So this guy was able to get out into deeper water with his rod. And we have a big reach with the internet now. With the FaceTime, we can give a word of encouragement to somebody in hospital, somebody who's isolated. The Lord is my light and my salvation. And in the beautiful gospel passage, how Jesus touched their eyes. Let it be done for you according to your faith. And their eyes were opened. Two blind men. It's interesting that they called out when Jesus was passing by, but Jesus didn't respond there. He went into the house. And so the blind men approached him, because they had called out, "Son of David, have pity on me." And then he touched their eyes in a more private circumstance, in the house, not out in the street in front of scores of people, but in the more privacy of the house. And he touched their eyes and said, "Let it be done for you according to your faith." And their eyes were opened. And he said, "See that no one knows about this." He wanted to keep it low profile for now, but they couldn't. They went out and spread word of him through all that land. And that was probably up around here someplace. Let me show you all that land. I'm not sure if they were over there. I didn't do my homework to see where Jesus was for this miracle, according to the gospel accounts, but a lot of that stuff happened up here, people, in this corner of the lake. So we're preparing for Christmas with great joy, getting ready to welcome that and celebrate that coming of salvation. May you be blessed. So we'll say, see you later, alligators. Oh, don't forget tomorrow. Well, actually, we have a special guest tomorrow. And then check out there for Celine is doing a series on women every day at around 2 o'clock here. And right now it's 7 o'clock in the morning. And then check out Teresa's thing there, and the divine, I think, what's it called? Divine something. I'm going to share it with you now. You can check it out. God bless you.